Hello, dear friends. It's Tech Wednesday on Digital English Teacher page, and today we're gonna answer one of probably the most common questions, especially for teachers who are just starting working online. And that's a question: how do I share a book? Well, it's quite self-explanatory when we imagine a real classroom and a real book, but what if there are miles between us and the screen sets us apart? Fortunately, we've got a solution, and I'm gonna share it just right now. So the tool that you can use for sharing PDF, mostly documents, with your students is called Kami. And it can also function as an extension to your Google Chrome. This is what I have already installed. Here it's a letter K at the top right corner. So let me show you what Kami does. First of all, it's an annotation tool, and you can highlight, you can comment, and you can do other different things to bring to your students' attention some of the most important materials or information that you want to cover. So you can see that there's quite a big number of functions that Kami has. But when you're using free version, you will be limited to just a few. I'm personally using free version, even though the upgraded teacher's plan is not that expensive. It's around $100 each year. But still, if you work online, there are lots of tools that you don't really want to pay for, and especially if you work with Zoom. Zoom already has these annotation functions installed into, and it's already there in Zoom. So you don't really need to have anything extra. Once you work with Skype, so probably Kami can be quite a solution. I would say even a must if you work with Skype or any other platforms that don't have embedded annotation tools. So by clicking on creating an account, you will be able to use it. So I'm going to show you how it works. I'm going to click on my extension, and I can upload the documents either from my computer or from my Google Drive. What's more, I can also create a blank page that can function as a whiteboard. So it's a super nice and great tool if you haven't found your solution yet. For instance, you want to explain present perfect. So what you will have to use, you probably will take the text box just to write the title, which is present perfect. No, it's not perfect. Present perfect. You can also move it around. I will put it in the very center. And what I'm going to do, I will also need to draw a line. But since I'm not a very good artist, I will probably use the function of inserting lines. So that's how it's going to look. And I'm going to also show my student that just imagine that's now, and that's an event that happened some time ago, but this event has the result at present. And for instance, I've lost my keys, so at the moment I don't have my keys. So that's probably how you can explain, how you can show in a beautiful way. Plus you can save, you can download, you can save, you can download these documents if you want to share those things with your student, and maybe just to keep them for further review. Now, the next thing, what you can also do with Kami, Just imagine your student is heading off to London and you want to review some language for dining, for going to restaurants and cafes. So probably working with authentic materials like menus can be a good idea. So what I can do, I can go and search for some menus, or even better, I will look for some British menus. And of course, it's probably a good idea to have PDF also, because if you have an image or document, Word document, you won't be able to use Kami because it's not allowed in free version. You will have to upgrade it to a paid version instead. So let's say I will take this one. Whoa, and to my great surprise, it's just right, and it looks perfect. It's so beautiful and nice, and it's definitely so authentic. I hope you're not too hungry, so I'm gonna open it straight away with Kami, which makes it really, really convenient because you don't really need to copy and paste and save and open with. So just perfect if you don't want to waste your time or your students' time. And so that's what you can see on your screen with Kami. But you also want your student to see the same picture. And probably we will need to go to share document function. And here you can click just make sure that link sharing is on and anyone with a link can annotate. This way your students will be able to write something from their side. We don't need it for now, so we'll click on just copy, and our link will be copied to the to the clipboard, and here I'm gonna insert the link. So my student has the same file. I can zoom it in a bit because I want us to go over appetizers first. So probably before having our role play, when my student is a customer and I'm a waiter, we will need to have a look at some, oh, sorry, just mark here. So maybe your student will need to know more of the vocabulary. So this is what you can do. By the way, if you notice that your student has to have the same, if you reload it again, so your student will be able to see also a zoomed in version of this file. So just imagine that we need to highlight some of the vocabulary. So you've got, for example, serve. You want to explain the word serve because it's quite common in this topic, and also maybe bloomer bread, or maybe you will need to know something like tortilla wrap and other stuff. So you can go over this section, and you can also maybe insert the text that these are appetizers, and your student can have a check maybe later if he needs a review. So just let me show you also what you can see in students version, just the same. You might also ask your student to maybe to give a translation, or maybe to also, if you're working on an exercise like gap fill exercise, maybe you also need to, let's say, I will use white color for this. For example, I need to take away some words. to make it, let's say, a gap fill exercise. Maybe this menu is not the best thing to have for a gap fill, but just to show. So for example, pickled cucumbers. Oh, this one. So I want, for example, maybe next lesson, I just really need to review some words. So I might ask my student, please insert the words that are missing. And this way we will be able maybe to review and very quickly to go over. Okay, yes, and very quickly we will go over the things that we had before. So that's probably it. Everything that you have done is saved. You can undo, you can save it, and you can download it as a PDF file. So I hope it was useful. Thanks a lot for watching, and see you next time. Bye.